Good morning. Happy Friday. Feeling just say it, the heaviness and anxiety of that terrible debate. And not terrible because of President Biden, but because of CNN. And I will rant about that quite a bit here. But I'll just get this out of the way first. Did President Biden sound raspy? Yes. Now we know he had a cold. Is he old? Yes, we know that. But Paul McCartney is 1 year older than President Biden. I really want people to picture that in their head every time that they think, "Oh my God, President Biden's too old." Remember, Paul McCartney is 1 year older than President Biden. And three, it wasn't President Biden's job to call out all of 45's lies. Yes, that would have been good if he had done that, but that would have meant he was wasting his time on his answers and not answering questions that he was asked about his policies and what he plans to do in his next term. It was CNN's job to moderate, which they did not do. They did not moderate the debate. They let a convicted felon, sexual abuser, insurrectionist for all entertainment purposes only, have the stage and lie and gaslight the American public, and they did not call him out on it. It was their job to moderate. They did not fact check. They did not call him out on his lies. And it became clear to me pretty early on that they are compromised. And of course, we knew that because a couple years ago, right, CNN was bought out by a right wing figure, like a Rupert Murdoch type of guy. And, you know, he really is like Lucy in the football and Charlie. We're Charlie Brown, not President Biden. We're Charlie Brown, and we fell for it yet again. But we're much wiser now. And as I wrote on my threads, I wrote, it's tricky to say, so I have to look at it before I say it here. We are wise now, and now we rise. And that's the truth. We rise. We don't fall. We don't give up. We don't say that President Biden needs to step down. I mean, as I said in a post earlier, this is we've already had the Titanic moment with 45, and that was when he was in office. But really, he's the 45. Trump is the iceberg, and President Biden is the lifeboat. I mean, which one are you going to choose? The ship already has a hole in it. Which one are you going to choose? Now, President Biden has done a good job getting us out of the virus and really a supernatural cult, a death cult, and the economy, which he's still working on that. It's hard, but just recently, all these prices have gone back to normal. Target, he worked with Target. Their prices are respectable again for hardworking Americans, or all Americans who need to eat and have toilet paper and soap. President Biden, and he's lowered the cost of insulin. He has the CHIPS Act, the Infrastructure Act. He's still working on the immigration reform, which really he should keep it with the DACA. But he's done a lot of work, and that could explain why he's so tired, because he has worked his butt off doing all of that. Plus, again, the supernatural cult. I got out of work. I had to work last night, and it's weird. Okay, here's something weird. I think it was planetary weirdness. I've got this bow on. I just take it out. It's annoying. Okay, planetary weirdness. So I was going to be early to work, and I always hop on the highway and try not to speed. Try not to. But, usually I'm running late, and I get on the highway and get off on another highway and get through some red lights and get to work. Tonight there was an accident, and all of the highway was blocked up. There were cars on ramps, cars just stuck everywhere. And so I was late. And then at work, we have 600 people coming to the theater every night, and they were all came into the hallway and clogged up all the aisles. It was weird. That never happens because we usually help them to their seats. And I thought there's something to this. There's like a cluster bleep of planetary activity that are all collided. And isn't it our luck that that's probably what happened in the debate? There was all these planetary alignments that were all cluster effed. And yeah, poor Biden. I'm seeing your comment now, Jamie. Yeah, let me get to that. And so I remember standing in the theater at one point and going, there's something to this. And of course, the debate had not happened yet, but it was going to happen. And I thought, no, this could be bad. But it's not really bad because again, we all know, I know, and we all know that 45 is not going to win. And I'll say again why later. But I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about 45 getting back in office. But I do feel disheartened by people I thought were Democrats, resistors, etc., saying, "Well, he should step down." And what? Like, what's the choice? What choice do we? Yes. Hello, Carolyn. Hello. And let me get to your comments, sweet Jamie. I'll get to both of you. The media over here calling the debate an unmitigated disaster. Well, yeah, it was in a way. It was. But the disaster, to me, the disaster was CNN. And of course, now I'm calling them CUNNT. Pardon me, but that's, and they are blocked. They are canceled. CNN, CUNNT is canceled out of my life. There's something of a frenzy with people commenting that they believe Trump will be reelected. How likely is it? It's not likely. I'll tell you why. And hello, Carolyn. Hello. Love you. Love you both. Thanks for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I heard it's cooler in England right now, Jamie. So we had some rain, so it's cooler here too, which is nice. Okay, so I'll tell you why. Again, 45 is not going to be reelected. First of all, the numbers. 45. 4 plus 5 is a 9. 9 is an ending. It's a power number, and he got into power. He's very powerful, but that's also an end. And I know now he's trying to say 47 because he got wind of that, I think, and he's trying to say 47. But no, he's 45, and his time ended. The universe used him I hate that, but the universe used him to instigate an awakening in us and a great change. I really wish we had just had Hillary do that, but it would have been nice, positive change. But I guess we had to have 45. That's kind of who we chose, right? Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that Peter's doing better after surgery. Good. That's so good to hear. That can be, I've heard that's a rough surgery, so I'm glad to hear that. And I hope you're doing well too, and that you can, because you had your tick bite. So I hope that that's going okay for you. So good to hear. Say hi to Peter for me, and I'm glad he's doing well. So, all right, well, that's like good stuff, positive, my friends, and then on 45, it's kind of always uncomfortable to go back and forth, but bear with me as I do this. He's 4-5 is a 9. 9 is an ending. The 27 Club, Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and Jim Morrison, and some others were 27, and that's a 9. And they were very powerful. Look at how powerful they were. And then they died. They created great change in people, and then they died. I'm not saying that 45 is going to die. I'm saying his power is over. And the universe is done with him. I've felt for quite a while the universe is done. The universe used him, and now they're like labor pains. They're pushing him out. Good, Carolyn. I'm so glad to hear that, because tick bites are scary. That's because you don't want to have Lyme disease. So I'm so glad to hear that. All right. Yeah, the universe is done. Like giving birth to a new era, the universe is pushing him out. He was part of a planetary alignment. They're pushing him out. I was saying earlier that Jim Jones had power. It's over. He never got in power again because of his own stupidity and narcissism, really. Hitler had power. He didn't come back. Charles Manson had power. He didn't come back. Now someone said, well, Hitler had power and then was pushed out, and then he wrote a book, and then he got in power again, blah, blah, blah. Now, I agree with that, but we've had this, what 45 did, the era and the change, and it caused, we already went over the apex. And then you look at the virus and you look at the insurrection. We already had that. We had the apex of his Hitler second term, whatever you will call it. There will be no second term. And okay, I love what Kim from Intuitive Use has said. I've quoted her before on this, but she said that the universe used 45 to teach us something. And that's what it is. When someone teaches you something on a mass collective level, they're not going to come back. You learn the lesson, they're not coming back. And that's like Hitler. He didn't have the notoriety that first time. He did the second time. 45 had his notoriety as by like the TV show he had and the books that he wrote and the power that he had. And then Jeffrey Epstein, he had that first term of power. The second term of his power was when he was president. It's over. It's done. He's not coming back. He's not. And you look at the numbers, even today, someone showed a poll, who would you still vote for after last night's debate? And 60%, which I wish that was higher, but it said 60% voted for Biden, 20% for 45, and the other percent was like independents. So that's, yeah. I mean, what also, see, I'm here to calm and give everyone hope. I'm not here to blow smoke up everyone's ass. I'm really not. I'm here to give everyone hope if I can. And I wouldn't say this if I didn't believe it. And if I didn't believe it, like I said, I wouldn't be here at all. I would not be on YouTube making these videos. I would give up on this and just go back to writing books full time or whatever. But go work at Walmart or whatever I had to do. I'm here because I know, like other readers, I know that it's going to be okay. But we're constantly thrown into chaos by 45 and his people because that's what they want. They want us to live in fear. They want us to be scared and flailing around and all that. But I know that it's going to be okay. But we're just in one of those valleys where it's dark and it's scary. And it's going to be okay. Now, I already saw that there was the blue side was massive, and then the red side was really dwindling down. So when it comes to the election, it's going to be even smaller. People aren't likely to all of a sudden turn MAGA out of nowhere. The economy was already the worst it could be. And money does have influence on people, but it was already the worst it could be. And it's better now, like groceries are better. Gas prices are better. And that's being resolved every day. So that would be the biggest indicator in my mind. Like the virus already happened. We've already had a deadly virus. We've already had locusts. We've had, so there's nothing at this point that I could foresee, unless we all just leave the planet or something, but that would make us go to, those of us who haven't already, we're not going to all of a sudden turn MAGA and go into the cult. We're not going to all of a sudden vote for 45. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to read some of these posts that I wrote last night and this morning. And I did say I'm hyperfixating on this. Why? Because I do, and because I'm upset. and it really upset me. Okay, so let me say, calm down, Amy. When I was in therapy, my therapist would hear me getting like worked up, and she would say, take a breath, close your eyes, and think of 3 things in the room. What are 3 things you can hear in the room? And I would hear like the clock, and I'd say, okay, the clock. And she'd say, what else? And I'd say the lights. And then I'd say the computer. And something about that helps ground you and take you out of your scary thoughts and elevated anxiety. So I worked. I got out of work. I turned on NPR and the debate started, and I heard President Biden sounding very raspy. And I thought, uh-oh, there's not a lot of power in his voice. And then I heard 45 sounding quite confident and normal. But, Charles Manson sounded normal. When you heard a lot of things that he said, Jim Jones sounded normal. But when you read between the lines, you saw the insanity. A lot of people who sound sane are really close to being insane, and you have to watch who your leaders are and who speaks for you. And so, like 45, the thing is, he was charming people in with this confidence, and I know this, and but it was all lies. Plus, he was farting. He was like audibly farting on camera, um, which is gross, and we don't want that in the next 4 years as a president meeting world leaders to be just loudly farting the whole time. Um, but the thing about a manipulator is they charm you. They charm you with their attitude, their eyes, their voice, like a snake. Ooh, look at that snake! Look at their shiny skin, and and then they bite you. So once you learn that the narcissist is there to charm you and draw you in, but that you're going to get bit over and over again, that's when you learn, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't be listening to, looking at, standing next to the narcissist. That's what 45 is. He's the devil. Why do you think the devil draws people in? Because he's got, he or she or whoever, it's alluring, right? It's alluring. And that's what 45 is. And I turned off, I got home, I turned on the debate, and then 5 minutes in, and I turned it off because I saw where it was going. And I thought, I don't need this. I don't need to be gaslit by 45. So I turned it off. I made a conscious choice to turn it off. And I went online and I was like, everybody just turn off CNN. Don't watch this. Boycott CNN. They're not doing their job. They're not moderating. They're letting 45, a convicted felon, sexual abuser, get by with gaslighting America. I'm not okay with that. And I felt much better. I really did. I felt so much better after that. Okay, so we also have, and I believe this is planned. They waited to see how the debate went. The Supreme Court said that January 6th protesters can have something, it gave them some sort of rights that will affect all of them in prison. And essentially that was them saying that the biggest insurrectionist, 45, can get away with it. So when they don't grant him immunity, he pretty much can get away with that. So he can't be charged with that, right? Which I think that's bullshit. But yeah, that's why they did that. And just in case you're wondering, the Supreme Court did that on purpose to give 45 this leeway to get away with insurrection, because they're basically saying, yeah, he's an insurrectionist, but we're going to make it okay. So they put a little loophole in there so they don't have to give him immunity now. They really just did by that decision. But fear not. And then I wrote, there's literally no news today that tender hearts can watch. And that's true because TV, Morning Joe, any news, even other tarot readers, I can't listen to anyone saying that that they're having doubts. I'm not having doubts. I'm just upset. I'm upset about the shit show that was the debate last night. But I'm not having doubts. I'm voting for Joe. I'm voting for. Okay, and that's what I want to say. Let me give you this story. True story. So my kids, when they were really little, took them to the dentist in town that was the orthopedic, a pediatric dentist. And he was this old, really tall, lanky guy with a limp and slow, kind of like very slow, slurry, stuttery. And I thought, wow, he's kind of old to be a dentist and still doing this. But he worked on their teeth and every kid in town and braces and everything else for the next part of it, 15 years or so, or whatever it was. And finally retired recently. And he did a good job. And, you know, we can say President Biden is frail, and he is right now, especially since he's been sick. But he's done a good job. His work ethic speaks for itself. He follows the Constitution. He honors the military, respects the military. And he's done a damn good job. And I'm not bowing out on him, and I'm not going to be ageist. I'm going to stand by him. We're standing by our man, not because there's no other choice, but because I am grateful for what President Biden has done. Now, is it healthy to say, yeah, he's old? Okay, he's old. Sure, he is. Do we have some fears? Yes, of course. But I just want to reiterate again that look at his work ethic. And also remember, or if you've read Jimmy Carter, how they try to paint him into this really an idiot, right? With a Southern accent. Look at that idiot with that big smile. Um, and they made it so I really believe the oil companies attacked him, sabotaged his presidency and the economy and everything else. So by the time he left, they were like, whoa, he was the worst president ever. And now we look back and we say, what a beautiful man, what a beautiful president we had, ethical, hard worker. And I think that the far right really screwed him over. They tried to do that with Obama. Um, and we're not going to let them do that. Oh, and here's the other thing. Do you remember when Hillary, in 2016, Hillary fell and she had like a head injury and she had to wear an eye patch and use a cane and she had like vertigo, and 45 and all his people were saying, well, she should step down. And they really did a head job on all of us to make us think that she wasn't qualified, she wasn't even well enough to run for president. They do that all the time, and I'm not falling for it. I am not falling for it. Now, President Biden, I felt a couple months ago when he met the Japanese prime minister, I remember thinking, he looks puffy and kind of out of it a little bit and slow. And I remember thinking, has he been ill? And did they put him on steroids? Not something they've told us about, but I wonder if maybe he fell or he had something like the virus. And something happened. They've made him wear those shoes so that he won't fall. And then he has this cold. So it was clear to me that recently President Biden has been battling something they're not telling us. But anyway, I just want you to remember all of that. Okay, what else? Yeah, I'm upset, but I'm not down. I'm just upset a little bit. Here's why I thought this was interesting, because with President Biden, I got this image of him being like Superman with kryptonite around his neck. And he was right next to 45, who is Lex Luthor. And Superman's tired. So I wrote this. I suggest not listening to anyone spouting shade on President Biden this morning, no matter how good their intentions come off. The problem is we thought Superman was going to walk on stage and whoop Trump's ass. Well, Superman did show up, the real life version with kryptonite on his chest. He has his bad nights, y'all. Lex Luthor was standing there right next to him, evil plan in his head. We are the ones who beat Lex Luthor. We are, collectively. Superman needs us as much as we need him. And CNN is the loser from last night, because why even have a debate if you can't moderate? That's so true. It's so true. And then I had some MAGA trolls come and bug me. Any questions? It is disheartening, but don't be down, because it's going to be okay. Sorry for all my rambling. If anyone's still here, anything else? Sometimes when I get all that out, then I feel like Spirit leaves me, like I purged, and Spirit's like, okay. So then I go quiet, because I'm like, oh, I'm done. What happened to Biden? Nervousness? Yeah, and tired. I mean, do you know that when sick, he had a cold, he has a cold. I heard that he did a group event afterwards with his support, with people he'd call it, whatever, what would you call it? Supporters. And he was on fire. I do, Spirit showed me that image of Superman with kryptonite on his neck, and he's right next to Lex Luthor. I really feel like, and this is the Spirit part of me that believes this, but I feel like that 45 and all his people really put evil eye on, and he has a cold. But I feel like from a spiritual standpoint, these MAGA people and 45 and all of them, they have been putting freaking evil eye on President Biden. Like the last couple months, massive evil eye. And you think about how, now I wouldn't do that. I'm like, return to sender. I wish no one harm, but return to sender. I wish no one harm. Not even President Trump. I wish him no harm. Yes, evil eye. It's true. I mean, I swear to God, I know people might laugh at that, but I really believe that. And you think about how MAGA people literally hate. They hate President Biden. They shouldn't, because he's a good guy. And he said, I want to work with you. I want us to all work together. He's probably helped them in ways they'll never understand, but they literally have been taught to hate him. And that collectively can hurt somebody. Evil eye is real. That's why, hey, I have an evil eye bracelet on right now because, yeah, that and the kryptonite is being next to Lex Luthor, who is like a human version of kryptonite, and the evil eye, like people literally hating him. That's why I said last night, I'm turning off CNN and I'm sending President Biden my love because he needs that. He was susceptible to that being, yes, he is very sensitive. He's Scorpio. He's kind. He has an open heart. Maybe we should, maybe we should have some sage in the White House and a whole bunch of evil eye pendants everywhere. Because I believe that, yeah. Isn't that sad? True. Two of my best friends think he's really evil. Yeah. Family members. I mean, not just best friends, but family members too. They really if Biden hadn't run and it had been, let's say Beto had run and been president, or Hillary, they would hate them too. It's just whoever runs against their queen bee, Trump, that's who they hate. They've been taught to hate. That's what they do in wars. You say you have to hate the enemy in order to kill them. And that's what 45 did. He came under the orders of Putin and said, he divided us. He came into our very subdivisions, our own neighborhoods, and said, I'm going to teach you to hate each other. I'm going to divide you. But it says, united we stand, divided we fall. So we can't have that in America. We're the United States. But yeah, he taught his supporters to hate. We don't hate. I don't even hate 45. I hate what he does. I don't hate him. That was something we're not expecting. Yeah. And it's not something you could just tell people. Yeah. It's not that something you could tell people because they don't, obviously they're in the cult, so they don't understand. And about the evil eye thing, people don't understand that either. But I think in their heart, they do understand. Everyone knows him. Yeah. By the way, this keeps staring at me. Every time I've ever read on 45, like literally every time, I get specific cards. So this one was blurred. Where's it now? It like disappeared on me and it was like staring at me. There it is. If you want to know what Spirit says about 45, this is the card I get for him. It's the Seven of Wands. And look, is that not Trump? Is that not him? Look how angry. The big orange cat, gluttonous. Look how angry he is. The red, the orange, fire behind him. And he thinks he's so badass today. You know, I did it. No, you didn't, because you ain't going to win. I know people were scared, and I'll show you. This is the card that I get for President Biden. This is him. He always comes to me as the King of Pentacles, and he looks up at the sky, and that's him looking up at the divine. It's also him looking up at his past loved ones, including Bo. He does ask Bo, his son, who passed away, for a lot of help and a lot of intuition, like guidance on what to do, especially with matters of military and things like that. And I now confirm with what you said, it's the evil eye. I really believe that. We've all had it. I've had it on me. And that's why you have to say, return to sender, not to harm anyone. But if someone's doing it to you, they may as well get it returned to them, and don't feel bad about it, because we shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that to each other. I always say, cause no harm, do no harm, but protect me from them, keep them away from me, like if someone has bad intentions. So maybe what we should do from now on is just really send positive healing protection to President Biden. I think that would be a good idea. Yes, if you're sensitive, you'll feel it. Yes, indeed, you will. And also the whole thing with like 45, his manipulation last night, he really put it on. I've been around it in my life, and I can't be around it anymore. And because they will talk you into jumping off a building. Narcissists are so good at that. You could, yeah, they know what they're doing. It is like a supernatural force, what they do. They draw you in, they convince you that you're crazy and that they're like God. Um, and next thing you know, you're in therapy again. And we're not going back there. We're not doing that. But what else? What's the other card? So we had that one for Biden. The card, there's another card for 45. And it is let me see if I can find it. I love these cat cards, by the way. They're my favorite. What's the one? It's the one where he's stealing milk from the kittens. I will find it. There it is. Yeah, he said all the right things. It's how he delivered it that people think he's weak. Yeah, and honestly, I guess it's good. See, here's the thing. We said, oh, 45 is going to call in sick and be a chicken. So that set it up so President Biden couldn't call in sick. Maybe, we kind of got a taste of our own medicine. Um, but that's what happened. We just have to know that, again, his policies, his work ethic, his legacy that Biden has left so far in this first term speaks for itself. And he's allowed to be sick. He's allowed to be old because he is, I'm not getting any younger. None of us, I'm not 20 anymore. And I don't expect him to be. I think that's the thing too. We expected President Biden to come on last night and be like 21-year-old President Biden. Yes, he's backed up by facts, indeed. And that's why CNN did not do their job. They should have called out 45 over and over again, literally stopped, blocked his mic and said, wait, that's a lie. They didn't do it. And it really makes me think that they were told not to because they're compromised. In fact, I know that's what happened. But yeah, Six of Pentacles, if you can see, I don't know if you can point it out. It's a problem with green screen. That's 45's hands. I don't know if you can see that very well. He's taking the milk and there's all these kittens waiting. That's what he does. He shows the cow and everyone shows up and says, oh, my milk, make America great again. But they don't get the milk. He takes it. He takes that milk. That's who he is. That's 45. But so I'm not gonna let this bring me down. We shouldn't let it bring us down. We have to keep fighting and peacefully fighting to election day. I think Trump's evil guides were so determined to weaken him more so because he's physically close. I really believe that. Because here's the thing. I've been through all this. As I've said, I went to therapy at Safe Home for 3 years. Check that. 3 years. Every Friday. And it was always a really dark, cloudy day when I'd get out of therapy. I had to go to therapy at Safe Home, say it again, for 3 years because of narcissism. That's how long it took for me to get my brain rewired and get out of. And it's like I knew, but when you're with a narcissist, you are just in a world of the gaslighting, the web, the fog. You're in the fog. And it's really hard. You can't be around them. They suck your. Every time I was around the narcissist, I would feel myself drained, sick, depressed, and I couldn't be around them. And then the more that they knew that, the more they came around me. Narcissists slowly suck everything out of you, and they don't want you to survive. They don't want you to. They want to own you. They're using you for your energy. That's why the narcissists love the empath, because we have such beautiful healing energy connected to the divine. They're sucking it out of us. So you feel there are evil guides as well. Well, the evil entities for sure. We have that. There's the light side, which would be God and the angels and everything, the divine, the light, and then the dark, which is all the dark negative. Which is the dark is the absence of all. You know what I mean? There's no soul, no empathy, no nothing. And so, yeah, guides. You say the word guides. You could say that word, what is a word? But entities. I would say yes, entities. It could be guides. They show up as guides, right? Whisper in your ear. Remember the whole thing, the devil and the angel, and you listen to both. That's what it's like. They're both an entity, but one's telling you something good and positive, and the other one's telling you bad stuff. So light and shadow, we have it all. We all have it. You learn from your shadow too. So yeah, keep asking me questions because that helps me out. I can check the news again. What more can we say today? The Supreme Court kicked us in the butt. Oh my God. Okay, tell me that's weird. Something just moved in the room. It was like a coffee cup fell over. That was really weird. So, okay, welcome to my world of spirit. Oh gosh. This is an interesting comment. I'd rather have an effing root canal than listen to John Kasich backseat quarterback Biden's debate performance. Yeah, I'm not listening to any of that today. None of it. I'm staying positive. You know, Trump is evil. You know what? Trump is evil. He really is. He is. I'll tell you what. When I was with my narcissist, um, and I was starting to learn how to read tarot because that's the way I started to get out. Was tarot helped me understand what was going on. Like when they would come around, it would help warn me of danger, and I would always get the devil card. That or like the Seven of Swords or the King of Cups in reverse, which is a manipulator energy. But yeah, I'd get the devil card all the time, all the time. So is there really a devil? I know people argue that. Well, there's negative entities, and that would be to me. I mean, again, words. What are words? It's what it is, not what the word is. It's what it is. So yeah, he's evil. Has his life been extended? He was supposed to be incarcerated by now and past. Well, I do feel that 45 will be sentenced to at least, I mean, it could be after the election, but 45 will be sentenced, I believe, to at least a night in jail. But I did hear Martha Stewart, and that it tells me at least 4 months. Will he pass away in jail? Probably not, because most likely he's going to have home confinement. I feel that he's going to pass away. Well, look, okay, let me ask you this. What do you think of the fact that 45 couldn't stay awake through his trial and has all the gas problems? Like last night, gassing audibly on live TV. He has no control over it. I wonder, and I don't wish this on him, but I wonder if he has something in his colon that's not being checked out. And because, I mean, everybody passes gas, okay? I'm not throwing shade on that. Yeah, he's in denial big time. And the drugs, I mean, at any point, the drugs he takes could take him out at any moment. But the thing with his stomach, I do wonder if, again, I don't want to say because I'm not going to throw this is negative, but there's something going on. And the people around him don't care enough to check it out. So I don't have good feelings about that, just to be honest, as a psychic. And he is rotten to the core. He is. He really is. And he doesn't eat well. It's not bad to eat McDonald's once in a while, but he does it all the time, a lot of it. Did you see those pictures of the documents? He had all these like cases next to them of Diet Coke. So the guy just lives on sugar and grease and drugs for entertainment purposes only, and negativity. No real exercise. He's a glutton. Remember in A Christmas Carol when Scrooge, so he was foretold of his death, and death said to him, gluttony. What were the three? I'll have to look it up. Jamie probably knows. Remember that documentary? A guy about eating. Yes. He did it for the documentary. They ended up dying. Now, I feel like he had a hereditary heart defect. The McDonald's did not help, but I feel like it was a hereditary. He was born with it. Yeah, and it didn't. He said himself in the documentary, after a week of eating McDonald's, I don't feel good. So I just feel like, but it was hereditary, and I'm seeing Jack Ritter from Three's Company, and then Jim Morrison, because Jim Morrison and John Ritter, Jim Morrison and John Ritter were very similar. One was funny and one was passionate music, but they looked alike, kind of the same era, and they both had the same heart defect, but eating and whatever else is exasperated it. And yes, that's 45, and that's this guy that you talk about in the documentary, your age. Well, yeah, and my age too. We could go at any time. This is where we have to start eating healthy, right? So I'll eat something, and then I'm like, I better eat some kale because yeah, I'm bad about eating potato chips. That's like my weakness is chips, really. But anyway, that threw me off track. But yeah, the 45, he's not taking care of himself. He's not listening to truth. His family isn't helping him. No, not you. Yeah. Kale. I know people hate kale, but I tell you what, it erases when let's say if I eat some cookies and I don't eat kale or something green afterwards, I kind of feel like crap. But I can eat cookies, and if I have kale afterwards, I actually feel like it cancels it out. I don't know. Someone told me once that you can eat whatever you want, pretty much within reason, if you add fiber before, after, or during, or whatever. So there's something to that. But also exercise and smoking. The guy that did the documentary, he may have been a smoker. It's possible, but I feel it was hereditary. But anyway, anything else? Any other topics? Um, what's this? John Fugelsang, John Fugelsang, who's with the Sexy Liberals tour. He says Joe Biden, at 116 years old, in pajamas and a wheelchair, drooling on the clicker, still appoints better judges than Trump. Yes. Joe Biden's brain, kept alive in a jar, fights harder for non-millionaires than Trump. Yes. Okay. Okay, what do we want to see? That was fun. I'm the only one here. I wish you could hear and see me too. Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. Yeah, I'm going to have to go soon, but I hate being on camera, as you know. For me to get on camera, I really have to push myself. And I'll do it because I feel there's a message and I have to help like everyone else, like other readers. I have to come on here and tell everyone it's going to be okay, because I can sense that the world is a bit in chaos right now, which is what the dark side wants, right? Darth Vader wants us to all be scared, and we're not going to do that. So have to remember to laugh and listen to music. And oh, you have oh, cool. Okay, you have a channel. I'll have to check it out. All right, I'll check out your channel. I will. It's always good to connect with everyone, and it's good that we all have a voice in this together, because they don't want us to talk. They want us to shut up and just allow them to take over the good-hearted people. Cats? Okay, cool. I've got cats. I sure do. It's funny. You know how TikTok, they were going to take away TikTok? Oh, cool. You have stray cats. Oh, good. Well, that's nice. I love that. I can only watch videos where a cat looks like it's injured when I know that somebody's going to help it out. Otherwise, like some of those videos. So that's good. But yeah, I was going to say on TikTok, they were going to try to take down TikTok, but why? I mean, it's really just cat videos. And I have to say that that's primarily what I watch on TikTok is cat. Oh, really? Well, here's the thing. You don't have to join. I never would tell anyone to join TikTok, but I'll say this. I like TikTok. And it's because I only watch subscriptions. I don't just watch random TikTok. If you only watch random stuff, it's crazy. But like I belong to all these cat people. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I think they should moderate it so that we have the American, how like YouTube or what, and probably Threads or what have you, Facebook is mostly per country, and we have filters. That's what they should do for TikTok. It should be, if it's being used in America and downloaded in America, there should be a filter and like a, what would you call it? When you have a VPN, that type of thing, an ingrained VPN per country, so we're not getting. Yes, I believe it is. Although Google is kind of a jerk with that because Google owns YouTube, right? But so that's a little questionable. But I agree. Here's the thing about TikTok: all of the TikTok content creators are now, they have a shop. They have TikTok shop. That to me is weird. Like, people were making just regular funny videos, and now they all have a shop and they're hawking wares. And like, what happened to all our Gen Z being creative? And now they're just like salesmen all the time. So, and I don't trust the links. I'll never buy anything from TikTok shop. I'll never buy anything from Temu. The first time I saw Temu, I was like, I'm not going there. I'm not shopping there. So, and Shine, Wish, I would never shop at those places. I've heard really bad stories about that too. So yeah, I'll watch TikTok, but I'm not gonna spend any money or give out a credit card to them. They're banned in China. That says a lot. That that is bad. That's ominous that they're banned in TikTok. Your brother earns from TikTok. I'll give it to a lot of the people on there that they know how to earn money. And a lot of times the products are really impressive. I'll think, wow, I do need that, or I want that. But I'm just, maybe it's the tourist in me. I'm like, or my mother's voice in my head, like, you're not going to spend your money on, you're not going to give your credit card out to them, are you? So it always stops me. I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Well, everybody, does anybody have? Carl and everyone, if you have any questions, let me know. How's your day going? How's the weather in your neck of the woods? It's Friday. 4th of July is coming up. Which, let's be positive about this. What was it? 4 years ago on 4th of July, 45 was having his Kim Jong-un-ish military tada thing. And didn't he go to South Dakota to the monument, whatever that mountain is, right? With the president's faces on the wall. And I can't think, the Mount Rushmore. And he tied chairs together, and Herman Cain was in one of those chairs, and he got COVID and died. So we were there, and now we're here. We're looking at it from a distance from after. So that's good. We need to remember to stay positive. We're not there. I think we have PTSD and we keep thinking we're there. We're not there. We're over here now. President Biden is in office. Things are much better, and we're not there anymore. So that's good. How do you get a reading? It should be in my, I'll put it on my community page. I usually do like $35. I can do a video reading, or if you just want me to type it up, I can type up a reading with cards and intuition. So it's on my email, which I'll put on my community page, but it might be in my about, how to contact me. And yeah, I like to do readings. It's good. If I could do enough readings, I would quit my job at the theater, even though I would only work one night a week there. Because as an empath, being around 600 people a night is hard on me. Hello, Chloe. Hello. So yeah, it should be in my about section. I like to talk. It put his power in the hands of the content maker. I agree. But I do see why people are suspicious of it. And my daughter did have, during the pandemic and the shutdown, she went through almost like a schizophrenic episode. And she kept saying, I have to get off social media. And see, she and all her friends and kids her age had no social activity anymore. And they were going in their heads too much. And social media, TikTok, were really sort of messing with them. So, and then I had to take her to therapy and all that. And she's doing much, much, much better now. But at the time, she really went through some weird stuff. And it was TikTok. So you do have to moderate social media, especially at a young age. Okay. Hey, hi, somebody's here. Great. Yeah, I know. You know what, Carl? I want to say this. I am. I call myself the most unknown psychic on YouTube because I I'm really invisible, but I think spirit does that on purpose. I really feel that because even when I reach out to like big name psychics, they kind of get cut off, and I think maybe it's my weird, like I have almost autistic, because I am kind of autistic, but I feel like spirit protects me almost too much. They have me get the message out, but then they hide me from people, and I really am like the most unknown, invisible psychic on YouTube. I think it's kind of funny in a way. Let's see. Hi, my name is Chloe Drake, and I'm a new subscriber. Hi, Chloe. I'm so happy to hear that. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I try to do several lives a week, depending on how my life is. I think I'm going to be able to do more next week. I talk about the Beatles and music, and I also, yeah, I do a lot about politics. I'm here to tattletale on 45, but also just to keep us hopeful and also spiritual topics. I'm here to talk about spiritual stuff. So, what is this stream about? It's about the after the debate, but I want us to be positive. And I wanted to come on here and just say, look, this is what happened. This is why it happened. But don't get down because and a lot of people being negative Nellies today. I'm here to say, I love you guys. We're in this together. We're not going to lose this fight. And stay positive because 45 has put us through PTSD. You know what that is? It's where you have post-traumatic stress disorder. And we go through these phases where he really is attacking us, right? He and his people are attacking us because that's what they do. And they laugh. They love it when we're down. They love it. And this is one of those days when you can really feel depressed. And yeah, Biden is going to be dark brown. And yes, he just wasn't feeling well. You know, he's having a bad night. We all have bad nights. But yeah, this stream is about staying positive because ultimately, it's all going to be okay. And again, we're not there anymore. We're way over here, and it's just only going to get better. Yeah, it was about the bait. And now the stream is, you're right. Well, it's just about life, really. My streams usually are all over the place because I'm a little ADHD. So, got to go now. Bye. Bye, Chloe. It's nice seeing you. Thanks for being here. And I'll try to be on. Let's see. I work twice tomorrow at the theater, Sunday night, so I might be able to come on Sunday. If not, I'll come back on Monday and talk to you guys. Biden's going to be dark brown, yes. Did you see this happening at all? Here's what I saw: question marks. And I think a lot of other readers saw that too, because I noticed that I would listen to readers because I'm just like you guys. I go and listen to other readers because I get scared and stuff, need to be comforted. And they too were getting the question marks. Is 45 going to show up? Are they going to make both of them take a P test? Is it going to fail? Is it going to be crazy? How's it going to go? I have to say that I did not see 45 showing up and being so calm and so convincing, but it makes sense that a narcissist would do that. And that's why when I picked up on that, I was like, I'm off. I'm out of here. Yeah, we all thought, because he always does. He really does. But I have to say, and I did say this, I have felt that he has been sick. I picked because his face was swollen a couple months ago and it never went away. And I thought, oh my God, did something happen and they're not telling us? And, like kind of slowness, people having to kind of hold onto his arm. They didn't tell us, but I did pick up that he was sick or had a fall. And then there's that evil eye stuff too. And just stress. But I think he was sick or he had a fall and they put him on steroids and they just didn't tell us about it. So as soon as I heard his voice, I thought, oh no, he's still not feeling well. So yeah, it did worry me, but I'm not worried in the long run. And I will say this, I absolutely feel that when he doesn't want to be president again, okay, he's tired, but he will do it. He's a hard worker. He knows he has to, because we can't have Charles Manson in office, Jim Jones, and he's not a quitter. He's not a quitter. He's going to be fine. Yes. And he will win. He's going to win. He's already won, really, but we have to vote. We have to vote. Here's the thing. I do think that Biden will say, well, Kamala is a strong, intelligent, great leader, and I trust her to take over. And what will happen is once he's reelected, he's going to slowly, not all at once, but slowly push off and delegate and give duties to her, the power to her. And then he will, maybe within a year or two, he will bow out and Kamala will take over completely. I absolutely feel that. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, Kamala will step up. And you know what? I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. We got denied our female president with Hillary, and now Kamala will come in, and I'm good with it. I'm like, yes, bring it on. A strong Black woman. I am so ready for that. I love President Biden, but I am ready for Kamala. I sound like Trump when I say that. Kamala. Oh, yes, Buttigieg. Now, I think he'll always be in office, but will he be president? Doesn't matter. If he does, yay. If not, he'll still be in politics as a strong figure, strong positive figure for the gay community, for all. And also, I think Beto is going to come back in a strong way. Yeah. So there's a lot of these figures that Elizabeth Warren, she's already in there right now, right? And we have Amy Klobuchar, she's in there. So a lot of these people that we wanted to be president, Pete will be, I hope so. I really do. I could see him being president. And so I hope that happens. And it's again, one of those question mark things. Like, will it? Yeah, it probably will happen. And I'm happy to see it. I hope that Beto O'Rourke tries again too. But what if we had Pete and Beto? What if we had that? That would be cool. I would love that. So yeah, I'm rambling again. Susan Lynn. Well, I'm good with it. Pete can be. I would be proud and happy to have him as president. Really, truly, so handsome, intelligent man, and he stands for the gay community. And Beto's too tall. You know why Beto jumped out when he was running for president? Because he had his illustrious past. He had some shady stuff that happened. Beto's too tall. And he said, I'm not going to put my wife and my daughters through that. And so Beto's too tall for me. Yeah. There's this line in Hard Day's Night where two of the guys that work like the managers or handlers of the Beatles, I think one was supposed to represent Mel Evans from, And he said, the shorter guy says, stop being so tall. You're making me look bad or something. You're doing it on purpose. So, yeah, he's pretty tall. The Beto's so tall, like Abraham Lincoln, he'd have to have someone of his own stature or to be VP. He couldn't be VP, right, and be that tall. But wasn't Lyndon Johnson, wasn't he taller than John F. Kennedy? If Beto became governor, his life would have been in danger. Yeah, and he really, maybe his role, I actually saw, for entertainment purposes only, that Beto really did win Texas, but they did not count the votes. And that stupid Abbott and Ted Cruz, the insurrectionist. This is why I'm shadow banned. Beto won. I mean, he won. And if he had asked for a recount the way that Kari Lake has done, they would have found out that he won. They just did not count his votes. Now, talking about that, there's something I want to talk about. You know how Biden and others say, 45. Yeah, 45 is saying stuff like, he's trying to suss everyone out. I think you should vote by the mail. What? Why is he doing that? I don't know. I don't know yet, but he is trying to trick everyone. It doesn't matter. Paper ballots and mail-in ballots, they're all paper. It's all paper. When you vote with the machine, you put in your vote, it prints it off on a piece of paper, and then you take that, you check it first, make sure you check it, and then it feeds into the machine. There's the end result of the machine. Well, a mail-in ballot gets checked, and that goes into a machine too. That gets put into a computer. They're all paper ballots. There are no, it's not just machines anywhere. It's all paper ballots. So that's something that people need to realize. No one's, yeah, they should count them all. Like they try to say, oh, we shouldn't count the mail in ballots because they're all from illegal aliens. Well, how did they get them? How did they get these ballots if they didn't have an address? That's the thing. You have to have an address. You have to have a driver's license. You have to be some part of American citizen, right, to get a ballot at all, a paper ballot or anything, or even vote. So if someone has it and brings it in, doesn't matter what you think, they are legally here and have a legal residence, and they're over 18. So yeah, got to count those ballots. Got to count them. But that's what Abbott did. He said, "Oh, just don't count them." I mean, how does an election end at 7 o'clock at night? It doesn't. That's because he did not count the ballot, and Florida too. Yeah, he's not going to be on the ballot anyway, dumb day. Yeah. Oh, well. So, but we have, how many months do we have now? We're at the quarter point of the, let's see, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, we have about 4 months. We have 4 months. 45 is not going to win, but we got to vote. Make sure you're registered to vote, and stay positive, because that's all you have. That's all we have left. The only thing they can take from us now is our hope and our faith, right? And the faith, and not just like religion, God, which I do believe in God and religion. I believe in Jesus. I believe in it all. I believe in all. I believe in aliens. Oh yeah. But yeah, they can't take that away from you. We still have a right to all of those things, and they try. They try to take away our hope, but they're not going to do it. Uh oh, my battery's running low. Well, maybe that's my message that I gotta go here. Yeah, battery's running low. So I will end this here with much love to all of you, and thanks for being here. I could try. Yeah, I won't be able to do it tomorrow, but I will try on Sunday to either come on live or to make a video. And yeah, stay positive. Try to enjoy your Friday and watch some of those videos. I posted that video with Jack Black and Jimmy Fallon, and it always cracks me up. It's actually it made me cry a little bit. Jack Black is so good. He's so funny, but his expressions cracked me up. But like, they did such a good job on that. On that video. So watch it. And Paul Rudd too. Paul Rudd does a video of, well, whatever. You go look it up on Jimmy Fallon. Love you. Have a great